My name is Sean, and today we are going to learn a little bit about Microsoft Excel. Now, before I actually go to the example that I provided to you, I would like to talk about Excel a little bit. Now, the version that you can see on the screen is Microsoft Excel on Macintosh that I installed in my laptop. If you're using Microsoft Windows, the Excel, the worksheet is going to look a little bit different, but the basics about it is the same. Now, as we can see on the screen, Excel is consists of many cells, and every rectangular shape that you see on the screen is called one cell. Now, every cell on Excel has a name, and the name of the cells comes from the letters on top of it on the top row here, from A, B, C to infinity, and also the number on the left side from 1 to infinity. For instance, this cell would be called D7, and for example this cell will be called G12, and these names will also help us later on when we're using the functions or the arrangements on Excel that which we're going to go through with the example I provided. Now the numbers on the left side starts from 1 and they will go up to infinity, and that will provide you infinite many cells in Excel. That's really useful to know, and how big the area of the Excel is, and it doesn't really matter how many data you have, you will always have enough space to work with them. On top of that, you will see the options here, sheet 1 and sheet 2, and you can also um, create more sheets, as many as you want. Every sheet again consists of many cells, so probably you have more enough cells to work on for any project that you want to work. Now let's go to on Excel. I provided a sample example here for you guys to go over, and when I'm talking about this example, I will show you some tools and the tricks that we can use on Excel. Let's say I am a teacher and I want to put on the marks for the students that I listed on the Excel sheet, and I simply type the names on the columns here that I called name and test, and let's actually add one more. So I'm going to add Sean here, which is my name, and let's just say I have test 1 results and test 2 results. Now let's just say I have 6 tests that I want to input data for. Now I want to show you a trick right now. If you get the corner of the cell, and then if you just drag it all the way to the number of the cells that you want to create, Excel automatically will realize that you are adding one number to the test number every time, and it will continue doing that for as long as you want. So since I have only 6 test results here, I created 6 tests, and if I want to do it one more time, you see that in the corner of the cell, if you grab it and drag it, it will tell you how many cells you can create, and I can go even more, but in this case I don't want to do that. So this is how I create a number of the tests. It will be very comfortable if you want to create a lot of cells. Now I want to actually import my data to the test results that I have. So for saving time, I have already input some numbers on sheet 2, which I'm going to select them and copy them and bring them to sheet 1, and I want to put them here. Actually, I don't have any data for Sean. Let's say he is not a good student, so all the low marks, 43, 50, 23, and let's just say 16%. Now I want to work on these data. First of all, you can always select them and work with the tools that are here, center the marks, or use the align text to left or right, just to make it easier to follow for yourself. Also, you can make some arrangement with the type of the table you would like to have. Let's just say you want to make it a table look like this, or if you want to do any other type. And these are just the previous options that you can have for your own comfort, so you can make a line underneath each cell. Let's just say I want to make all borders and make it look like a table. And in this case, let's just say I want to calculate the average of each student. Also, I would like to know what is the maximum mark that he got or she got, and also the minimum mark. Okay. Now here comes the option that we can use for creating functions. For making an function, you click on the cell that you want to work with, and you actually double click to make it look like this, that you can write the function. For any function that you want to put in Excel, you have to use the equal sign. So as soon as you write the equal sign on the cell, Excel will realize that you are about to write a function. Now the function in this case is average. Most of the common functions in mathematics, physics, and all the areas are already set up on Excel. So you don't have to actually introduce the function of average into the program. It's already there. So all I have to do is say equal sign average, and then you see that there are already options for me. So let's just say average. Now it will ask you average of bracket open and bracket close, as you can see, and inside the bracket I have to tell Excel what average of what cells do I want to take. So for this student Alex, I want to take the average of test 1 result, comma, test 2, comma, test 3, comma, test 4, 5, and 6. And as you can see, the names of the cells are provided here, and this is where you use the cell numbers. For example, this cell is going to be called G7, and you can see that there's G7 here. So basically here I'm taking the average of C7, D7, E7, F7, G7, and H7, and that's all the marks for Alex from test 1 to 2. And then I press return or enter. So this is the average that I have for this person. Now I want to take the average for all the students that I have. Simply using Excel, I can again drag the bottom of the cell here and drag it down. What it does is that it will copy down automatically the formula that I used for this cell. So basically it's going to create all the average for all the students here. Now Excel would automatically realize, for example, this person James missed test 4, and Excel would automatically realize that this mark is not included in the test. Now if I want to include this mark and make it actually 0, then if you watch that, the average is going to change. Now one more time, if you don't put any data in there, Excel will automatically realize that you only want to take the average of C8, D8, E8, and then it will automatically jump on G8 and H8. It will automatically remove the cell from the calculation. Now if I want to include that and then make it mark 0 for that specific student, then I actually just click on 0, and then it will give me the new average. Okay, let's do a couple more examples. Now in this case I want to find the maximum mark, so again I use the double click on the cell, and then I use the equal sign because I'm going to use a function. Now maximum function is again one of the well-known functions on Excel, so I just have to write max, and the most recent used is the max function. I'm going to use it, and then it's going to ask you maximum of what numbers. Then I'm going to say of this number, comma, this cell, comma, this, comma, and then let's return. So as you can see, it automatically finds what the maximum mark is, and it will tell you here. Also, I can simply drag it down and it will give me the maximum mark for each student. Same thing for minimum. I have to write minimum of, okay, now I forgot to put the equal sign, so Excel thinks that I'm just writing something. Now as soon as I write the equal sign, Excel realizes that I'm doing a function, and it will give me the most recent use, which is minimum. Okay, now I want to find the minimum of the same cells for all the students, and simply press return or enter, and then just drag it down again, and it will give me the minimum numbers of each student, minimum mark, maximum mark of each student, and average. There are other things that you can do on Excel. Let's just select all these average marks and right click on them, and then let's just see what format cells is used for. If I click on that, it's going to tell me what that cell is being used for. Is it for number, currency, counting, date, time, or what? Now in this case I have numbers. Now I can actually set how many decimals I want. Let's just call it no decimals because I don't want to use decimals in this cell. So I click OK. So automatically the decimals are gone and they are round to the nearest number. So now I can use this numbers for the average of the students. Let's just say I want to create an average of class. Now the average of the class, I want to put it in this box. And let's say I want to make it an outside border. Also, I want to highlight it with blue. Okay. Now I want to make it equal sign again, and I want to find the average of all the average of the students in the class. That will give me the average of the class. Now the average of the class is 56. Now it's a little bit hard to see. Let's change the color to something lighter, and also let's make it a little larger to see. Okay, now you can see if I double click, I see the formula of the cell, and if I just click on escape, it's going to tell me what the number is. This is a very simple lesson on Excel. You can do a lot of other things in Excel that you can name and imagine. There's infinite many things you can do on Excel. This is the first step, and hopefully it's a good start and makes you excited to learn about Excel more. There is a lot of things, as I said, and I will try to provide more examples with more things or more tools that I know on Excel for you. Please make a practice on this. It's very simple and it's very useful, and I think nowadays for any person in the world it's very necessary to use Excel, at least for the basic stuff. Now this example could be very useful if you're doing a physics lab, if you're doing an experiment, if you are a teacher, you want to calculate marks, or if you're doing some accounting. You can actually simply put your, I don't know, everyday cost or everyday budget, and then just work in them. And there are many functions that you can use on Excel that it will actually very comfort you and ease your job to work with numbers. I hope that this lesson helped you a little bit learning about Excel, and I guess see you next time.